Dr. Mahapatra. Mohanta sir, namaskar.
Namaste sir.
Good morning, Shari sir.
Namaskar.
Santosh sir, good morning. Mohanta sir, good morning.
Professor Ravi sir.
Madam, good morning.
Good morning. Namaste.
Good morning.
Namaste sir.
A pleasant morning to everyone here. Respected Director, Roland Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Dr. J. Surya Rao sir. Chairperson, Roland Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Srimati J. Jalakshmi Madam. Principal, Roland Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Dr. V. Ravi Kumar sir. Vice Principal, Dr. C. H. Niranjan Patra sir. Today's chief guest, Director of AICTE, Barampur, Professor Dr. K.V. Achari sir. Guest of honor, Principal of Institute of Pharmacy and Technology, Salipur, Professor Dr. Santosh Kumar Mahapatra sir. Eminent guest speakers from India and abroad, delegates over the nation, and my dear colleagues. I, Jasma Jana, Assistant Professor, Roland Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences, on behalf of RIPS, would like to present a gracious welcome to all of you for this inaugural ceremony of Faculty Development Program on Emerging Trends on Drug Design and Development, sponsored by AICTE, New Delhi. So, I welcome everyone once again. The major focus of this FDP is upgrading the teaching, training, and research skill of teachers, especially those teachers who have not had opportunity to acquaint themselves with recent developments in drug discovery and development. The program enables participants to develop competency in the field of drug discovery and development. To mark this event, a traditional beginning will begin a virtual lamp lighting presentation followed by Ganesh Vandana by our guests.
शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
So now it's time to invite our honorable patrons, Srimati J. Jalakshmi Madam, Chairperson RIPS, and Dr. J. Surya Rao Sir, Director RIPS, on board for the welcome address. I request Madam to kindly address the guest.
Good morning, everyone. At the very outset, I thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity to welcome all our esteemed guests on this auspicious occasion, that is Faculty Development Program being sponsored by All India Institute AICTE. So we are very fortunate enough to be sponsored to hold this kind of faculty development program, which is very much needed at this hour. Thereby, I am very much thankful to AICTE authorities for having trust and faith on this institute and sponsored this program, which is very importantly meant for the teaching professionals, the teachers ultimately. The teachers are the backbones for every educational institute, and thereby, once the teachers are strengthened, everything will be strengthened. So I very much thankful to our principal sir, to our vice principal sir, and all our teachers for taking this kind of initiative to hold this kind of very special program to be benefited by all the teachers in and around the India. So once again, I welcome our very chief guest, Professor K.V.R. Chari, Director, ISER Berhampur, and Dr. Santosh Kumar Mahapatra sir, Principal, IPT Salipur, and also other dignified guests and all the participants, delegates to welcome this great program, which is going to start immediately within short while. Thank you all. Am I audible?
Yes, madam. Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes, madam.
Okay. Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, madam. Yes, you are
I
audible.
finished my talk.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
finished
Yes, ma'am.
my.
There were some issues, ma'am. Thank you so much, madam, for your continuous support and encouragement.
Hello, Jasma madam. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible to me. Now I request our respected principal sir, Dr. V.V. Ravi Kumar sir, to kindly.
Thank you, madam. Chief guest of today's program, respected Professor K.V. Chari sir, Director, Indian Institute of Science Education and Research, Berampur. Guest of honor, respected Professor S.K. Mahapatra sir, Dean Pharmacy, Biju Patnaik University of Technology. Resource person for today's program, Mohanta sir. Patrons of this FDP, Mrs. J. Jailesh, Roland Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences, and Dr. J. Surya Rao sir, Director, Roland Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Vice Principal Professor Niranjan Patro, Co-coordinator of this program, Dr. Bisumohan Sahu, staff members of RIPS, and my dear delegates who registered for this FTP. A very good morning to all of you. At the outset, I welcome all of you to this inaugural function of the 2 weeks online faculty development program sponsored by All India Council for Technical Education, which will be conducted from 15th February 2021 to 26th February 2021. I am very happy to inform you that we have received a huge response from pharma teachers all across India. I congratulate and thank all of them for showing interest in this faculty development program. I promise you that this program will definitely help you to improve your knowledge and skills. This FDP is lined up with lectures and demonstrations by reputed resource persons, not only from India, but also from other countries like United States, Australia, Jordan, etc. I am highly thankful to all the resource persons who agreed readily to share their knowledge and wisdom with all of us. I appreciate Dr. Bisumohan Sahu, who have taken all the pain to make arrangements to conduct this FTP almost single-handedly. I thank management of RIPS for their support and guidance in organizing this FTP, and I also thank principals of all the colleges for allowing the teachers to participate in this FTP. I thank All India Council for Technical Education for funding this 2-week FTP. Last but not the least, I thank our today's guests, Professor K.V. Chari sir and Professor Mahapatra sir, for accepting our invitation and gracing this occasion to motivate all of us in spite of their busy schedule. Professor Chari sir is a mentor of RIPS. He visited a couple of times to RIPS earlier and inspired all the students and staff members of RIPS. He inaugurated our R&D cell, after which RIPS achieved many milestones in research publications and awards. Professor Mahapatra is also very knowledgeable person, is a very good person, is instrumental in changing the face of pharma education in Biju Patnaik University of Technology. I once again thank both of them for gracing this occasion. With this, I once again welcome all of you to this online faculty development program sponsored by All India Council for Technical Education, and wish this program will be conducted successfully and meaningfully. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would invite our benevolent Vice Principal, sir, Dr. C.H. Niranjan Patra, sir, to address the gathering.
Good morning to all dignitaries present in this online platform. At the outset, I would like to congratulate Dr. B.B.V. Ravi Kumar, Principal, Roland Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences, for getting this grant from AICTE for conducting the faculty development program. I would also like to congratulate Srimati J. Jayalakshmi Madam, Chairperson, RIPS, and Dr. J. Surya Rao Sir, Director, RIPS, for providing a conducive atmosphere for scientific and academic activities. The faculty members are the pillars of any educational institute, and this faculty development program will definitely update the knowledge of our teachers, especially in the area of drug design and development. I am sure with the team effort under the supervision of Dr. Biswamohan Sahu, co-coordinator for the FDP, the teachers will be immensely benefited from this faculty development program, and in turn that will be propagated to the respective students, and which in turn will contribute in shaping the future of our country. So I wish that this program a grand success. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you so much, sir. Roland Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences in the year 1986 has been continuously adding success stories to its name, from being one of the best pharmacy institute in Odisha and having many more tags to its name. With this, I request coordinator of this FDP program, Dr. Biswamohan Sahu sir, to highlight the achievements of RIPS. So now I invite sir on board to kindly share the history and progresses of RIPS.
Okay. So this is from SP here. We have received the lifetime institutional membership. Then we have accredited with NDA for B Pharmacy course. Then we have different laboratories for PG courses and also for research programs. We have some major instruments to carry out the research activities at different levels. We have conducted so many seminars and workshops in last 5 to 6 years. Different workshops, seminars on recent trends in drug design and drug developments. We have conducted some hands-on workshops for the benefit of students' knowledge. So different seminars on research methodology. From industry also, we have some industry experts. They have discussed different area of research in industry. This is related to animal studies, how the animal will be handled and the experimentation will be performed by the research scholars. Application of statistical softwares in the research, and our students visited different labs during their project. Some training programs in different labs throughout the India. So last in COVID pandemic situation, we have conducted different programs, online seminars and webinars. So these are some of the achievements of our institute by our students, and these are the achievements by our faculty members who received University Foundation Research Award in 2019, followed by 2020 by our Vice Principal Sir. And these are the gold medalists received by our students. And we have also reached so much GPET qualified students. And we have some felicitations for our beloved Dr. Sunil Kota sir for his social service and constant support for the treatment of various area of healthcare systems. And these are the expo conducted by our institute for the benefit of our students. So we have green and eco-friendly environment. Students can safely stay in the campus. We are also celebrating annual day for the entertainment of the students for their extracurricular activities. We are also conducting some social services or social activities or awareness programs by our faculty members and also students. These are the alumni associations conducting from 2004 onwards. Thank you all for your patience hearing. I am very much thankful to the organizer for giving me this opportunity to discuss about our brief profile of our milestone of our institutes. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir, for this virtual tour of RIPS achievements and programs since the year 1986. And we are extremely sorry for the technical glitch which occurred just before. Now it's time to hear from our guest of honor, Dr. Santosh Kumar Mahapatra sir, Principal IPT Salipur and also Dean of Pharmacy Deputy. Before inviting him for his talk, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce him to all of us. Professor Dr. Santosh Kumar Mahapatra sir presently is a principal of IPT Salipur and also the Dean of Pharmacy Deputy University. He has before joining the teaching profession, he has worked as an executive for 2 years in Int Chemi Health Specialties Limited, Mumbai. He has received a research grant from AICTE New Delhi for a research promotion scheme RPS in the year 2005. As a member secretary in State Board of Pharmacy in Sikkim since 2003, he is working as an expert committee member in Board of Study of North Bengal University for BPharm course since 2002. He is also an expert committee member of Faculty Council for PG Studies in Science for MPharm courses. He is also working as a selection committee member of Departmental Research Committee, DRC Pharmacy of University North Bengal for PhD Pharmacy registration. He is also a lifetime member of Indian Pharmaceutical Association. With this, I now request Sir to kindly come on board and address the gathering.
Yes, may I audible? Good morning, Jai Jagannath, and esteemed guest of this function, online AICTE Faculty Development Program, our chief guest, Professor KVR Cherry, Director ICR Berhampur, Patron, Mr. Jalakshmi Madam, Chairman RIPS, and Dr. Surya Rao Shah, Director RIPS, Principal, Dr. Ravi Kumar, Vice Principal Niranjan Patrosha, Professor Vishwa Mohan, Coordinator of this program, all distinguished speakers of the student function, and all my teacher delegates. It is a platform for our gurus. For the guru, I just giving a small themes. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Dev Maheshwar, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. A guru can do many things, like Chanakya. Everybody knows the name. When Chanakya name start with the verse and everything thinking, yes, something doing, something had did, and something inspired. So one Chanakya, the Indian teacher, when he was the Ashok dynasty, he has the mentor and even if the guru of Chandragupta Maurya. A teacher can do anything, a teacher can do any moment, any times for anybody else. So last time I can think you, COVID-19 gives a good lesson in 2020. Nobody knows, but everybody knows everything. Without the platform, without gathering, without the system coordination, we are organizing many more seminar, webinar, online platforms, online teaching methodology. So each and every time there is a need and there is a will you have to go through. So when there is a need, definitely a person can think, you have to think something for the preparation, you have to do something. Even if you can, last year, if nobody knows the one smartphone, the guardians, the small kids like 1 year to 5 years, even from 5 years to 10 years and 10 years to many more. So everybody knows types of smartphone, types of devices, types of webinar platforms, all the things. So the situation changes everything. A situations give the total lesson. So whenever the situation gives you the lesson, so why not you all, as a teacher, as a responsible person of the society, it can change many things. Like a man is great by deed, not by word. A man is great by deed, not by word. And the education builds the beauty and the youth. that this is the small thoughts and very slogan. You can change anything. That means a person having the thoughts, he can change many things. So already I told you, I congratulate all the team members of RIPS who is organizing a beautiful online AICTE faculty development program. Within this hazardous situation, they have received grants from AICTE, and they are creating a good platform. I'm feeling I'm not in IPT Salipur. I'm in the RIPS auditorium because there is no disturbances. We are interacting very nicely, and even if today stream had a new platform, yes, what Dr. Bishwaman told me, sir, we are introducing new stream at the platform. It is a good platform. Like only whenever in 2020 March, hardly have seen Zoom. Then you can say Google Meet and many more. Now, so each and every weekly you can give new platforms, online platforms, and each and every time you can modify ourselves and giving a clarity of all the things. So there is a need, there is a way. So as a teacher, if you feel it, I can think something, I can do something. Definitely, Henaka did many things for the society, like our BPUT system. Each and every month we are having a meeting and interacting all the things. And Professor C.R. Tripathi, Vice Chancellor, he has always towards the research and faculty development program. Already from the BPUT side, faculty development program online, many colleges applied for faculty development programs. And regarding research, he is always towards the research, a research person, and is giving many times. Dr. Mahapatra, you just go through and prepare different type of seminars for the research and development. The teacher, if you teacher think for the research, automatically it is flourishing to all our students, all our scholars. So one teacher should think. We know everything. As a teacher, we can think, we know, but still there is a lacking. Each and every day you have to learn, you have to think, you have to do, you have to innovate something. Last 2 years, 2019 and 2020, BPUT has declared research award, BPUT Foundation Research Award, and even if from RIPS to professors already received. Professor Bishwamohan 2019 and Professor Niranjan sir, he has received the Foundation Research Award. It is a big credibility to the institution. And each and every year, BPUT is giving this research award. Why they introduced? Because it is inspiring points. So research is the most important important point for setting ourselves. A teacher only not to take the class. Class is not a big barrier. Last 1 year, even if without teachers class also, students are taking much knowledge from the YouTube, right? And some e-classes are also available by paying. So some good teachers, good university classes also available in different YouTubes. So our motto is that not taking the classes is only for 50%. Another thing is skill, how to develop our skill. So each and everything, if we are not involved with the research and development, it cannot think for the development of scholar. Now the young mass is a different track. Always they are thinking, yes, each and every time if they join today in industry, tomorrow they will think the salary should be 10,000, right? Each and every year the salary should be increased like that. So they are not thinking for their own standard, where they are not judge their own way, but they are thinking how much I have to earn. So they are not thinking for learn. To only they how to earn. So this is the only difference between the new minds. So you have to change by their thoughts. So when they have to change their thoughts, you have to change our thoughts. So I just thanks to the team members of RIPS, Professor Ravi Kumar, Niranjan sir, and even if Bishwamohan sir, they are creating a very good topic, emerging trend in drug design and development. Really, it is a good title. So at least each and every teacher, apart from the job of teaching 6 hours, so at least they have to invest 1 hour each and every day in their laboratory, in their library for research and development. Anything. Now it is chemistry research, now it is pharmaceutics research, any research, anything you can say it is a research. So we have to involve ourselves, you have to development of skill, and that skill will be share our thoughts, share to our scholars and even if to other students. So it is very, very essential. And another very important point I want to tell you, because teaching and research, most important. But sometimes if anybody is involved, no, I have no time to go through research. Sometimes I am always involved with the research. I have no time to take classes. No, it's not like that. Both are intermingled each other. Both are same. Both are the both sides of a coin. When there is a education, there is must be a research. If there is a research, there should not be thing for the education. So without research, there is no education, and without education, there is no research. So each and everything you have to think at the time of start of the day. And I wish all of you, the team members of RIPS, because the team members really the creator, the pillars of all institution. If teachers will think my institution is the best, there is not the need of the hours like today and tomorrow, and even if a month, within 1 year, the institution will grow like anything. The management cannot grow, but the teachers, if you think it, my institution can grow like anything, definitely there is a growth of institution, definitely the growth of education, and definitely the growth of research and development. So I wish all of you, and thanks to all the team members for their dedication and to make this program highly successful. And it is a very important program for learning and interacting and innovative thoughts. Thank you all. Thanks to all the person concerns which are directly related to this program. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. As sir said, that education is always the top priority, not for the teachers, for the students also. I would quote like that and quote of Benjamin Franklin. We state that an investment of knowledge in knowledge always pays you the best interest. So thank you, sir, for your address. Now I would invite Dr. Professor Guru Prasad Mohanta, sir, resource person for this FDP, to kindly address the gathering.
Good morning, friends. The respected chairman of the Roland Institute, Professor Surya Rao, the director is Professor Surya Rao, and chairperson, Madam, the principal, the chief coordinator of this program, the co-coordinator, Professor Biswamohan, and my good friend, Professor Santosh Mahapatra, who is the Dean of Biju Patnaik University. It is a great pleasure and satisfaction for me to come to a program of Odisha, because though I am in different place, my heart is always in Odisha. And in fact, some of, I do not know, even Professor Surya Rao remembers, we were together in the College of Pharmaceutical Science when it started at Gandhinagar in the beginning stage. Of course, I was there for very brief period. You may not be able to recollect also. Yes, friends, I add on to what Professor Santosh Babu has said. Teaching and research should go together. Teaching without research is toothless. Research without teaching is fruitless. So both should go hand in hand, and there is no excuse that I am doing this, so I am ignoring others. We have to balance our time so that we can be proficient, we can excel in both teaching, learning process, as well as in doing research and encouraging our students to do research. Friends, one of the most difficult tasks in this world is teach the teachers. And I congratulate Professor Ravi Kumar, Vishwamohan. They have taken this initiative to teach the teachers, because if the teachers are taught, they can do excellence, they can perform, and this will help in building the nation. So that is why our second president of Republic India, Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, has said, the nations are not built in the parliament, nations are built in the schools, colleges. And we as a teachers, we have enormous responsibility. I'm sure the teachers who have joined, they have that conviction, they have that attitude to contribute for the growth of the nation. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Professor Jana, you are able to hear me? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was.
Yes, sir. Just I have just completed
Yes.
my
Yes, sir. Yes.
introductory
Thank you so
remark.
much. Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for your address. Now, it's time to invite our next speaker on board, our esteemed director of ISUR Berhampur, Dr. KVR Chari, sir. I take this opportunity to introduce sir to all of us. He is presently the director of Indian Institute of Science and Science Education and Research, Berhampur, Professor KVR Chari, sir. Professor KVR Chari, sir, has obtained his BSc Mathematics, Physics and Chemistry in the year 1974 and MSc Physics in the year 1976 and PhD Physics in the year 1983 from Osmania University, Hyderabad, and joined the Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, Mumbai, TIFR, in the year 1983. He was a visiting scientist in the laboratory of Nobel laureate and he was laureate Professor Kutwirch at the Institute of Molecular Biology and Biophysics, Switzerland, during the period of 1988 and 1990. He demonstrated the capability of solving complete 3D solution structures of proteins by NMR in India for the first time and continues to lead the pursuit. He decoded the implications of calcium binding proteins from entamoeba and archaea in pathogenicity. He has co-authored a book entitled NMR in Biological Systems from Molecules to Humans in the year 2008. In recognition of his scientific contribution, Professor Dr. KVR Chari, sir, was awarded the G.N. Ramachandran Gold Medal for the excellence in biological sciences and technology in 2017 by the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR, India. He has been also awarded with Young Scientist Award and Young Scientist Medal from National Science Academy, New Delhi in the year 1986. With this, now I invite Dr. Professor KVR Chari, sir, on board for his talk.
Sir, please unmute yourself. Sir, it is muted, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. I was too excited. I'm sorry. Thank you,
Thank
madam,
you.
for introducing and for nice remarks. At the outset, my dear distinguished dignitaries on the line and all the teacher friends, very good morning to you all. And I'm very glad to be part of this 2-week faculty development program the theme that is chosen by the organic committee is very, very contemporary, and I'm very, very glad that they have chosen a very nice title and a theme, and the emerging trends in drug design and development. I wish they should have added even emerging trends in the vaccine design and development too. Maybe, I mean, a part of the today workshop may be devoted to that aspect too, because we have been going through a very serious pandemic, rather, where we needed a vaccine very, very urgently. Let me pause here for some time and make you aware of a very interesting phenomena that has happened. I don't know how many of you have silently accepted that most of the mankind has completed more than 12 months of lockdown and self-isolation today. It was precisely on this day, actually, a year back, all the students came to me and started saying that, "Sir, we all want to go home." And since then, it has been a different world. And I'm sure you all agree that it has happened for the first time in human evolution. In all likelihood, it may continue for a few more months or even longer. During these difficult months, there has been a huge disruption of wealth all over the world. Last 12 months have taught every one of us what is essential and what is not for self-survival. As a matter of fact, I was just speaking to my students and staff and faculty on the occasion of the Republic Day, and I thought that I should really make them realize how our freedom fighters spent several years in small cells of isolated prisons. And I'm sure by isolating and during this lockdown or even thereafter, constraining yourself to homes is almost like being in a cellar or a prison, actually. And the message that I want to share here is that let us imbue the spirit of those freedom fighters in these uncertain and challenging times and continue our life journey in isolation as long as this pandemic lasts. Another aspect of this pandemic is that it has indelibly marked science, and driven by global collaboration and data sharing. There have been unprecedented advances in epidemiology, clinical care, and even the speed of vaccine development. And we should be proud we could indigenously produce COVID-19 vaccine, not just for our own people, but for entire world. And I'm sure you all aware that we have set our goals to vaccinate entire 1,370 million population and make them immune to this deadly virus, which is now, that is how, we will end this pandemic. I should say that during my lifetime, for the first time, the pandemic has stimulated strong public awareness in science and zeal for science. And I'm sure you all agree that you are part of this, that the stature of the scientist in the society has gone up multifold. All the people in the audience, all those who are listening to me, there is a scientist in you, and nurture the scientist. And again, I re-emphasize that during the last 12 months, the stature of the scientist in the society has gone several fold. Today, he is even called a god. The scientific advances seen this year could inspire the young among the audience and coming generation of scientists, whom I am sure might have realized the great potential and promise of the scientific research. It is only the science that can solve the problems of today. Today, I'm sure that many of you agree that Indian scientists and hence the country are well equipped even to face any pandemic in the future. I think that is what we have learned in the last 12 months. Coming to the current scenario and future challenges, it is now time for reflection of the stones unturned and paths not traveled, mind you. I'm not saying that just like that. We do not know. We are going through a completely very, very uncertain situations. I have to highlight one thing actually. At the time of independence, our population was 320 million, and today it is 1,370 million. Can't imagine. 1,370 million beautiful minds. And added to that one, those who are born at the turn of this century in 2000 is to the extent of 270 million beautiful minds. Mind you, after 2000. That means 20% of our population started turning into 21 or less. And I'm sure there may be some students among the audience, rather, who may be listening to me, and they are one among. And these, which I call them as the millennials, of which most of you belong to, grew with the technology, smartphones in your pockets, and are emerging as aspiring generations with a lot of promise and potential. Most of these millennials have not witnessed scarcity or hunger and are rearing to take the India into higher orbits. This requires further development, further investment in research and development, and strengthening of research ecosystems wherein science education has assumed greater importance than in the past. Prevailing scientific and educational infrastructures are not adequate to meet the exponentially growing demand for qualified and skilled scientific potential, scientific personnel, and academia to address the future challenges of science in India and abroad. And this is where I think the previous two speakers, Santoshji and Guru Prasadji, have highlighted the importance of the teacher. I reiterate what they said in a different way, that the teaching and research are two sides of the same coin. It is true. I once again fully agree with their pravachan, and I even add that teaching elevates you in research and research elevates you in the teaching. And for that reason, every teacher should be a born researcher too. So that is the only way rather you can elevate yourself and be hand in hand with the contemporary science and technology and contribute immensely and make it possible for these millennials, 270 million young people need torch bearers, and you're all the torch bearers. I know that I have been a teacher, I'm teacher, I'm going to be teacher, and I see that I am not just a teacher, but I am an elderly learner. I learn while teaching. I recently had a course for my students in the last semester. And during that time, it was a wonderful thing to happen. I mean, people started questioning me in such a way that, I mean, I had to provoke myself to teach myself and then teach them. And that is what is the need of the hour. So you are never a complete master. So you all need continuous refreshing. And I'm sure this workshop, this 2-day workshop, is going to immensely help in every aspect of making you a contemporary. We need to be fully aware of the future challenges of India and are thus actively participating in the process of getting ready to equip young people pursuing basic sciences, whether it is pharmaceutical sciences or any other science or research at the highest level of excellence in the country. And once again, I reiterate that this COVID-19 is going to continue to introduce us all to an untreaded path. So it is going to give several opportunities and challenges. For example, the emergence of a new COVID mutant in various parts of the country and the world show that more genome sequence of these mutants is the need of the hour. I don't know how many of you know what is meant by genome sequencing. The possibility of dangerous mutations arising independently in different locations underscores this need. Today, linking the genome data with clinical and epidemiological information is the only way in further combating the spread of any mutant or any new virus that may cause rapid infections or even severe diseases. So hence, the message is let us all be alert all the time and let us all update ourselves what is the need of the hour and keep ourselves abreast of the science and the technology. I always end up in the recent months, I have been always telling that let us continue to practice our COVID mantra in these difficult times, whether you are offline or online. Imagine that you may be infected and therefore to save others, use mask, social distancing and hand wash. Simultaneously, imagine others may be infected and therefore to save yourself, use mask, social distancing and hand wash with the soap. I think with this message, and once again, wishing you all the very best. And this is the wonderful thing that is happening. You don't have to travel. You don't have to keep yourself away from your near and dear. You have to sit at home and just switch on your laptop or a desktop or even a smartphone and listen to people like us and elevate yourself. And I'm sure this is going to be a wonderful experience when you are with simultaneously with your kin at home. So enjoy and have a blissful 2 weeks interaction and elevate yourself. I wish you once again, all of you, the faculty and the participants, and most importantly, the organizers, all the very best in this endeavor. Thank you so much. Bye. I'm done with. Hello.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. As sir said, it's an now becoming extreme important necessity to develop advanced platforms in the field of research and education. With this, now I request Mr. Rajaram, sir, Assistant Professor RIPS, for the concluding remark.
Thank you, madam. A lovely and warm morning to our most valued and worthy dignitaries, management committee, respected participants from all over India, and my beloved colleagues. It's a matter of pride for me that I am proposing a vote of thanks on this august platform of AICTE sponsored online faculty development program. Myself, Rajaram Das, Assistant Professor, reads on behalf of my colleagues and the entire community, first of all, spread my most sincere thanks to the Almighty God. First and foremost, I would like to thank our esteemed director and founder and patron of today's event, Dr. J. Surya Rao sir, a visionary thinker in the field of technical education, for his endless contribution till date. I also express my heartfelt thanks to our beloved chairperson madam and patron of today's event, Srimati J. Jayalakshmi madam, for her kindness, interest, unstinted motivation and support for conducting such a nice event. Dear ladies and gentlemen, a program like this is not possible overnight. The planning wheels has started rolling months ago with tremendous planning. We have been fortunate enough to be backed up by our coordinator and co-coordinator of this program, Professor BVV Ravikumar sir, Principal RIPS, and Professor Visuman Sahu sir, Head R&S Cell RIPS. Thank you so much, sir, for reciting the evolution of RIPS from its juvenile stage up to becoming one of the premier pharmacy colleges of Odisha. I would like to I express my deep sense of gratitude to the guest of honor of today's program, Professor Dr. Santosh Kumar Mahapatro sir, Dean Pharmacy, BPT Odisha, for encouraging us with his words of wisdom and highlighting the importance of gurus in imparting knowledge in our life. I express my heartfelt thanks and gratitude to today's resource person, Professor Dr. Guru Prasad Mahanto sir, for his gracious presence in the inauguration session of this FDP. Thank you, sir, for highlighting the importance of research in the teaching curriculum. This is for sure going to help all of us and all the budding researchers in their entire path. I would like to take this opportunity to place and record our hearty thanks to our chief guest, Professor K.V. Chari sir, Director, Aizer Berhampur, for presiding over this program. Thank you so much, sir. We are greatly encouraged by your gracious presence and immensely benefited by your inspiring address about continuous learning process throughout our life. I owe a special gratitude and thanks to AICTE New Delhi, the sponsor of this program, for their timely help and support in all manners to conduct this program. I would like to thank Mrs. Jasma Jana Madam, the anchor of this inaugural session, for her dynamic anchoring process. Last but not the least, I, on behalf of Reeves Fraternity, here together extend a very hearty vote of thanks to all the staff members of Project Monitoring Committee, Registration Committee, Certificate Committee, and Technical Support Committee for gracing the word and works assigned in a timely manner. I wish Team Reeves and FDP a resounding success. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, madam, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for proposing the vote of thanks. With this, we officially adjourn this inaugural sorry. Before that, I would like to invite our beloved principal sir to kindly present a token of appreciation to our guest of honor and chief guest of this function. Sir, please unmute yourself, sir. Vishwaman, sir.
So Mahapatra sir, kindly accept this on
Yes, yes.
behalf of.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot to global attention. That's it.
Thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
coming,
Thank you.
sir.
So the screen is not visible, sir. Now I would request our principal sir to kindly present the token of appreciation to our chief guest of today's event, Professor Dr. K.V. Achari, sir.
Chari sir, kindly accept this on behalf of RITS fraternity, sir. Thank you very much for gracing this occasion, sir.
And I accept a softer version of that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. With this, we officially adjourned our this inaugural function. So, as you know, every end is a new beginning. So, we'll be starting our first session of Series 1 shortly within 5 minutes. Session. And here are some rules for the session. The attendance is compulsory. 80% percent attendance should be there. And if you obtain in order to obtain minimum qualifying marks, you have to get 60% marks if the test is being conducted. So attendance is very compulsory. So all the participants are requested to attend accordingly. So we'll be starting the session, first session of this series 1 shortly within 5 minutes. So we'll be starting the session now. So before that, as you know, for Dr. Professor Guru Prasad Mohanto sir, and he will be discussing on clinical trial rules and academic research. So I'll be introducing him to all of you within a short span of time. So we'll be starting the first session shortly. So as you know that will be the first session will be, the speaker will be Dr. Guru Prasad Mahanta sir. So let me introduce
Ma'am,
him
your voice is not
to all of
audible.
you. Professor Dr. Guru Prasad Mahanta sir. Sir, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
So he's the former professor and head Department of Pharmacy, Annamalai University, and also former National Technical Officer, WHO Country Office for India. And he has 33 years of teaching and research experience. For the 2 years, he served as National Technical Officer, Essential Drugs and Medicine in WHO India Country Office. And he was also former expert member, Administrative and Social Pharmacy and Ethics Groups of Federation of Asian Pharmaceutical Association. He was a member of National Level Advisory Committee (GOI) for engaging community pharmacists in Pharmacovigilance Program of India. He is the member of Board of Studies of various universities. He was also the Vice President, Community Pharmacy Division, Indian Pharmaceutical Association. He has many honors to his name. He is an expert invitee to attend second International My Dispense Symposium 2018 at Monash University, Prato, Central Italy.
Madam, we are not able to hear you.
Not audible, sir? Okay, sir, fine. Sir, am I audible now, sir? Am I audible now, sir? Sir, am I audible? Okay, sir. Sir, I'm audible. So, as I said, he has many honors to his name. So, he's recipient of IAPST Pharmaceutical Scientist of the Year 2015 award. He's also recipient of Best Researcher Award 2011 and 12, Annamalai University. With this, I request sir to kindly come on board and start the first session of the series 1.
Hello. You are able to hear me?
Sir, tell me, sir.
No, because I was not able to hear whatever madam was
Okay.
speaking. Okay.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes.
So, shall I start?
Yes, sir. You can start, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
My screen is visible? Hello? Whether screen is visible? Please someone respond.
Sir. Still not came, sir.
Screen not clear.
No, not came, sir, till now. Till now not displayed, sir, here on screen.
Yes. What is the issue? I don't know because it is
Sir,
showing stop share.
okay. Just it will come, sir. Just wait, sir. It will be taking time, sir. Yes, sir. It is coming now, sir. Just
Oh,
wait,
it's
sir.
okay. Okay.
Sir, you have already shared, na, sir?
Yes, I have already said.
Okay, but something is showing but not came totally.
Okay, I'll do again.
Yes, sir. Sir, open your PPT first, then minimize, sir.
No, already done that one.
Okay, sir.
Okay, already done. It was there in the screen.
Okay.
It was there in the screen. Okay, I'll do again. Just check now, sir.
Another screen came now. Yes.
Is
Sir,
now
make
visible?
it full. Visible, sir. Make it full screen, sir.
I put full screen.
Yes, sir.
Is it okay?
No, sir, not came, sir. The side slides are coming.
How to do that?
Sir, first open your PPT, then minimize.
Yes, I have done that.
Then,
Minimized and just 1 minute. Is it now visible?
okay. Yes, it is okay, sir. No problem. You
Now
can
okay.
continue, sir. Sir, now you can continue, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Good afternoon, my teachers friends. This is a privilege for me, and I feel proud to be for this privilege having bestowed on me, and I really enjoy it talking to my teachers friends who are the young teachers and who would be the future of the pharmacy profession. Friends, my presentation will be about 45 to 1 minutes to 1 hour. This has the following components: background, which gives the pharmaceutical scenario of this country at this moment, and few anecdotes. Why do we need new drugs? How we can do drug discovery to develop new drugs, and what are the new regulatory issues, the vaccine controversy, and few messages. Friends, India is known as the pharmacy of the world because it supplies medicine to more than 200 countries. Now, India has also achieved a significant milestone, not just what we are doing about medicine, but we are now supplying vaccine also to many countries, and many more supply requests have been coming to. And that is what people say now. India can use this vaccine diplomacy for improving international relations. And this is a big achievement, recognition for our science. India has the largest number of US FDA units, US FDA approved units rather, more than 260, and 1,400 WHO approved manufacturing units. And that is why we are able to supply medicine throughout the world, including USA, UK, Australia, Japan. And our Prime Minister has given a call to make India self-reliant, Atmanirbhar Bharat, and for that, the pharma is in the lead role because people depend on us. And not only the others, even our own country and government has started giving massive investment for bulk drugs because all these days we have been depending for bulk drugs on China. And of course, the next our target is we should be self-reliant on new drugs. Any drug required, we should be able to make ourselves. That one we have at least proved at this moment that we can have our own vaccines, that not we are depending on vaccine for others. So friends, here are few anecdotes. And why I have put these anecdotes, many of you may not be knowing all these things happened and how when our teachers in the college or the university level worked on drug discovery, how there were certain controversies. Andhra University, few teachers were working on targeted drug delivery. It is a common in a pharmaceutical science institute. But what happens is, when it is a targeted drug delivery, we use some targeting materials, and these targeting materials, whether it reaches this site or not, we detect through some technology which uses radioactive substances. And it was flashed in the newspaper that students under threat exposed to radiation in the name of drug research. It was a big issue. It went up to even the assembly. Assembly questions are asked why the students were used as volunteers. And the students have participated on this because they are under threat. Teachers may not give marks, so they are all participating in the drug research. It was a big issue. Similarly, RCC, Regional Cancer Center at Trivandrum, there also it was flashed that illegal drug trials means the drug trials are not approved for trial. Somewhere these drugs are available in other country. They did not take the proper permission for doing this trial in this country, and that was another issue. Then another professor at Calcutta, Jadavpur University professor, he claimed in a press meet that he has a drug which he developed that is useful in saving the life of terminally ill cancer patients. As soon as the press meet is over, the Drug Controller General was asked, such a research is going on, why it was not informed? DCGI immediately asked an explanation to the university how the drug discovery research was going on and where you have done and why permission was not taken from the Drug Controller General India. Then, as usual, none of the annual reports of Jadavpur University showed that such research is going on in the university. So, university administration asked a written explanation from the teacher, when have you done this and why university is not informed and why university permission was not taken. So the teacher was in deep trouble. So why I want to tell these stories, show that when we do some drug research, the drug research is something different from other research. And the drug research at the last stage, it involves the clinical trial, that is the trial with the human beings, starting from the healthy volunteers to the patient. And when the testing is done on healthy volunteers or the patient, the proper legal procedure to be followed, proper ethical compliance is to be made. Without this, whoever is doing research can be in trouble. So next question comes is, why do we need drugs? When we have plenty of drugs, still we need new drug, because sometimes old drugs become ineffective, antimicrobial resistance, and that is what we see. Even the vaccine that we have prepared, that vaccine is now perhaps not effective against the muted virus. The UK variety, which is recently emerged, are not sensitive to the new vaccine. So that is why old drugs become ineffective because of antimicrobial resistance. We have started living longer. On an average now, the Indian official statistic is people live about 70 years. People live about 70 years. So many age-related issue comes, and for that we do need medicine. New diseases are emerging: Zika virus, chikungunya, dengue, COVID-19, which were never seen earlier. When all these new diseases coming, we have no remedy, we have no treatment, and we do require new drug. Next point is, no medicine is ideal. When we say no medicine is ideal, what does it mean to us? No medicine means medicine must have two properties. These two properties are based on safety and efficacy. So no medicine is 100% effective. No medicine is 100% safe. So there is always scope for improvement. So what are the methods by which we can reach or achieve developing a new drug? Traditionally, we find out the drug target, identifying a new drug target, and basically is now gene-based molecular mechanism, so that the drug will reach the target site and give us the relief. Now we have another mechanism, the drug receptor mechanism that we develop. We know now the receptor is identified, and we want a drug design based on the receptor, so that receptor will accept us. That is why we have now computer aided drug design, CAD. We also do chemical modification of known drugs. This is probably the easiest way of doing the new drug discovery. Slightly we modify. When we modify with an intention to achieve better efficacy or to reduce the side effect or toxicity, means to improve the safety profile. We have another method, screening of known products, and many of our drugs that are quite very popular, they obtain from the natural products. And friends, even our the some of the cancer drugs are coming from the plants. Biotechnology, this is a very emerging area, and we expected the biotechnology actually to supersede the pharmaceutical technology, but pharmaceutical technology somehow little ahead of the biotechnology as far as the drug discovery is concerned. Then we have the drugs, we want to make combine them, combination of drugs. This is called fixed dose combination. Then we have the new focus, and what is happening at this moment is repurposing the old drugs. We have the old drugs and we are reusing them, and that is what at this moment used.
Excuse me, sir.
Pardon, sir?
Sir, your slide is not changing. Only first slide is there, sir.
It is not changing, eh?
No, sir. Only one slide is there. First one. That is title.
Now, sir?
Not came, sir. Only first one is showing there.
Okay, sorry.
No,
What is
sir. Now change, sir. Now change it.
So shall I do one thing, sir? Shall I send these slides to you?
Yes, sir. You send me. I will display here.
I'll send this.
Okay,
I'll
sir. Thank you.
just email it.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, sir? Just check, sir.
Sir, you stop your share screen now. Hello, sir. It is visible, sir, to you?
No.
Now you check, sir, it is visible?
Yes, now it is visible.
Okay, sir.
Please change, sir. Or otherwise, I'll change here, sir. You change there. Some anecdote completed. Why next? Next. Yes, yes. So, what are the various stages of drug discovery? You are able to hear me now? Hello? Sir, previous, just previous.
Sir, continue, sir.
Shall I continue, sir?
Sir, continue, sir, continue.
Okay. See, at this moment, if we see, we have developed very quickly the medicines for COVID-19, though we had some of the issues of whatever the medicine we developed. This is called repurposing of old drugs. So the drugs are used earlier for some other purpose, and now we have made it useful for COVID-19. And the repurposing is used because it requires less time for approval. Already it is approved for other treatment. Low risk of failure because already we know about something about this medicine. So investment is also required less. For example, if you want to see, the drug development cost about 300 to 400 million for the repurposing of the drug. 300 to 400 US dollars million, while actually the drug discovery takes about 2 to 3 billion US dollar. So you can see how less amount drug is required. So when it comes to the drug discovery various stages, the first thing it comes is pre-discovery, that what we want to do, for which disease, what should be the target that we decide for the drug discovery. Then comes is next stage is discovery and clinical, which requires 3 to 6 years. And then the regulatory approval, that is we do clinical trial, And based on the clinical trial, the drug regulatory authorities give approval for use. After clinical trial, there are 3 stages of clinical trial initially: phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. Once at phase 3 crosses, the drug is permitted for general use, and that is called marketing approval. Sir, next. Hello.
Sir.
The clinical trial has got 4 phases. Phase 1, and in some countries it is 5 phases. It starts with phase 0. In India, we have only phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and phase 4. Phase 1 is on healthy volunteers. Just think of it, is only on healthy volunteers, where we determine what are the pharmacokinetic parameters. And based on this pharmacokinetic parameter, we decide what should be the dose. Then this dose we apply on small number of patient. Small number of patient is called phase 2. Then is a larger trial, is phase 3. In phase 3, the drug is compared with a standard or with a placebo. We don't use placebo for disease like diabetes, hypertension. We use a standard drug because standard drug is available, and based on this data generated in phase 3, a company or research organization has to apply to the Drug Controller General of India, who is the licensing authority, and the licensing authority gives permission to market the drug. But along with that, obligatory phase 4 is also to be conducted by the marketing company. Next, sir. Done, sir?
Yes, sir.
Regulatory milestone for clinical research. If you look at our regulation, our Drugs Act passed in 1940, and the rules are made only in 1945, pre-independent era, colonial era. And after independence only, 1952, new drug definition is introduced. The new drug definition is introduced in 1952. Then in 1970, just you can imagine how long it took to develop the guidelines for clinical trials, 1970. Then 1988, further the Drugs Act amended, and Schedule Y, another schedule was introduced for the new drugs. 2001, Rule 122 is amended, fixing the fee structure, how much money should be asked fees by the licensing authority for approving. And in 2001 also, post-marketing surveillance is introduced, and Indian GCP is as good as any other GCP, good clinical practice. And sometimes we call this as good clinical research practice. Next, please. Okay, sir, next.
No, sir, it will take time, some network.
Okay. You just tell me as it comes.
Sir, already came, sir.
Okay. The Schedule Y that we have introduced earlier was revised in 2005. In 2009, mandatory registration of clinical trial is made. Then 2013, again Schedule Y was revised. See, all these days, these are all a temporary solution for the clinical trial rules. no separate rules. So in 2013, made certain remarkable changes like paying compensation or medical management to the trial subjects, registration of ethics committee, and informed consent, because the right of one to participate and right at any time to leave the clinical trial participation is introduced. And it is very late, 2019 March only, new drugs and clinical trial rules are introduced. And this rule is now applicable. Previously, there was no clinical trial rules. It was the drug rules. Within the drug rules, we have, because you see, the Drug Act is passed in 1940. The rules made is 1945. And separate new drugs and clinical trial rules 2019, just like we have now separate rules for medical devices. Next, please, sir.
Yes, sir. Continue.
Yes. This new rule that because why I want to sensitize these, many of the books that we have, they are not revised, and we still find the old regulation in our, even the some of the drugs books and some of the even the clinical research books, because it happened only in 2019 early. So that is why I am trying to give you some information on this new regulation, how it differs from the old regulation. Phytopharmaceuticals, another terminology which was not there earlier, is introduced. The research is divided into two categories. One is the clinical trial, the other one is biomedical and health research, mostly the academic research. Biomedical health research and clinical trials. Earlier it was only one. And for this, we have separate ethics committee. Another important features of the new regulation is post-trial access. Means a person has participated in clinical trial is over, and now the drug has come to the market, whether the person will get this access to the drug, whether the patient has to buy this from the market, or the company will continue to provide free medicine to the research participant after clinical trial. The fees are increased. The form used for applications are also changed. The phase 4 and post-marketing surveillance. Earlier, we are all talking the post-marketing surveillance means it is phase 4, but now it is differentiated. The phase 4 is the responsibility of the company who has initiated the clinical trial and marketing, whereas post-marketing surveillance anybody can do, including our pharmacovigilance program. Our pharmacovigilance program is one of the best now recognized throughout the globe, and that is why our center, the National Center for Pharmacovigilance, is recognized globally as a partner, as a center for public health, collaborating center. Then another new terminology that is introduced is academic clinical trial. And this academic clinical trial is introduced to help the teachers to do some clinical trial as a part of the drug development at their level. This is to streamline, to hasten, to ease of business, this clinical trial process for the academic clinical trial is little bit accelerated. Next, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, academic clinical trial is a clinical trial of a drug already approved. Remember, so the drug we are using in the academic clinical trial is not a new drug, it is an already approved drug for some population with some dosing, with some route of administration. Now we want to do test whether this drug can be given by another route, by another dosage form, and all such study comes or falls under the academic clinical trial. Friends, for this clinical trial, academic clinical trial, we do not need a license. An academic clinical trial does not require a license. But if there is any ambiguity, if the ethics committee feels the drugs trial that under the academic trial we are doing is going beyond this academic trial, they can get it confirmed from the Drug Controller General India, whether still it falls under academic trial. Academic trial, we don't need DCJ approval, we only need institutional ethics committee approval. Next, sir.
Yes.
So these are the points about the academic clinical trial. No permission from the licensing authority, that is the Drug Controller General of India. Only ethics committee approval. That means at institutional level, we can decide whether we can go for this study. So a teacher can or a research organization can easily take up this academic clinical trial. Only thing is, this data will not be used for anything except publication. These data will not be used for anything except the publication. Next, please, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then we have two types of ethics committee: the clinical trials and for bioavailability and bioequivalency study. We have one type of ethics committee. Then we have another type of ethics committee is for biomedical and health research. Biomedical and health research. So we have two types of ethics committee, and the memberships are similar. Memberships are similar in nature, but one very important thing is for clinical trials and bioequivalency, bioavailability study, every member must be trained. Then only they can become the members of ethics committee. On the other end, the institution has to establish the ethics committee, and the only difference we find between the composition is non-affiliated lay person is there in both. So this is similarity. Non-affiliated chairperson is similarity, but in case of clinical trials, there must be an woman scientist or woman member, while in biomedical research or health research, there is no such restriction. And there is a difference in quorum. In case of ethics committee, at least 50% of the members not affiliated to the institute should be available. On the other hand, minimum 5 members and one non-member must be available for the quorum. Then the difference, the new regulation says phase 4 and post-marketing surveillance. Earlier, we are all treating because there was no clear-cut definition about the phase 4 study and post-marketing surveillance. Now, the new clinical trial regulation has clearly defined they are separate entity. Phase 4 is a part of clinical trial. It has to follow the approved protocol with well-defined objectives. Ethics committee approval is a must. Study purpose usually it is phase 4. A drug-drug interaction to find out, dose response to find out, safety studies, mortality or morbidity, and this is called post-marketing trial. Post-marketing trial. On the other hand, post-marketing surveillance is basically observational and non-interventional study. Observational. We just observe. We don't do any intervention. That means here, whatever doctor is prescribing, we just go on looking at the outcome of this prescribing on the patient's point. Whether patient is developing any sorts of side effect or in patient. Sometimes the side effects are also used later as a policy matter. What we call is off-labeling. That also we find out from the post-marketing surveillance. And since the drug is already in the market, there is no requirement of permission. Regulations required for clinical trial of new drugs are not applicable for post-marketing surveillance. And our pharmacovigilance program basically does this for marketing surveillance. While as fourth phase study, this is called the safety monitoring, and they submit periodic safety update report. Periodic safety update report every 6 months to the licensing authority in first 2 years, and after 2 years, next 2 years, it is annual report. Next, please.
Sir.
So our academic research is based on the ICMR guideline. It is not based on the guideline of DCGI. Clinical trial guideline of DCGI and the academic research is based on the new ICMR guideline that was designed in 2017. So it tells the full process of how review should take place, guidance to the researcher, responsibility what one should have while conducting the research, informed consent, multi-center research, public research. Next, sir.
Yes.
So you might have heard these two terminologies that I'm coming across at this moment. Is one is accelerated approval, because many people may think and a lot of controversy that the scientists, the doctors are trying that. Yes, COVID-19, this virus was new, so nobody knew how this virus is to be handled. And that is why initial phases we did not have enough data to substantiate how we should treat a patient. And when we got some information, it's not complete information, but some information that these medicines may be effective against the survivors. And in that case, the government gives accelerated approval. So from phase 2, directly it is given with bypassing the phase 3. It is given, but with a condition that they should continue doing phase 4 trial. So we can see for COVID-19, this drug tocilizumab, which is used for psoriasis all these days, was approved for use in India, and later they found this is not of much useful later. So this was given accelerated approval. Next, please, sir.
Sir.
Then another terminology came, emergency use approval, and lot of controversy. Any drug that is not tested in India, first requirement is the drug must be tested in India, because people in India may be genetically so different, may not be able to tolerate the drug. There may be different side effects. So every drug developed elsewhere must be tested in Indian population to prove that drug is safe and drug is effective. So in India, we have Serum Institute of India, which has manufactured and tested AstraZeneca Oxford. So both manufacturing and testing is done Covishield in India, and the subject expert committee, that is the expert committee, works under the DCGI, recommended that this should be. See, our recommendation came much later than even the British government. British government allowed earlier, but ours is independent, and our government, our regulatory system is much more conservative. And after thorough investigation only, it is allowed. But still, it was only an emergency use. Next, please. So this is the Covishield vaccine emergency use. We have actually used two, the Covaxin and Covishield. Both are approved for emergency use, and 2 doses are to be given at an interval of 4 to 6. And 2 days back, we have started giving the second dose of this vaccine. Next, please.
Sir.
See, there are little difference between this emergency use approval of Covishield and Covaxin. Covishield is manufactured but not developed in India, manufactured and tested, found to be reasonably safe, so allowed. But this one, Covaxin, is our indigenous completely. It developed by collaboration of the Bharat Biotech, ICMR, and National Institute of Virology. National Institute of Virology isolated the virus, and all together technology of these three institutions helped us to develop this Covaxin. But only thing, since it is developed here only, and we could not complete all the phases of trial because there was a need, there was a compulsion to introduce the vaccine. And because of this vaccine is to be introduced, because of the compulsion means to save life. This vaccine was approved under clinical trial mode. Under clinical trial mode, that means what we say at this moment, the efficacy was not clearly known. What percentage of population will get immunized? That was known, and the phase 3 trial was still going on. So the government permitted only on clinical trial mode. That means clinical trial mode means they have to, every person taking vaccine has to give a informed consent, while the Covishield, no informed consent was necessary. Next, please.
Sir.
So, in drug discovery, and as far as the Indian regulation is concerned, vaccine is also a drug. We don't have separate regulation for vaccine. Vaccine is also considered as drug. And when we talk of new drug, all drugs that are introduced for the first 4 years, they are called as new drugs, while vaccine throughout its lifespan, whether it is 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 10 years, always vaccines are treated as new drug as far as our regulations are concerned. So one has to be very careful about the vaccine, because vaccines are normally given to the healthy volunteers, healthy normal human beings. And if something goes wrong, people will develop the vaccine hesitancy, and vaccine hesitancy will disastrously affect the public health program. So the basic philosophy continues from the father of modern medicine, Hippocrates, who says, do no harm to the patient. Next, please.
Sir.
So before doing every trial or research, one has to take ethics committee approval and approval of the central licensing authority. But for academic trial, we don't need the central licensing authority's approval. Next, please.
Sir.
Friends, I know it is uh, lunchtime, so I little hurried up. I'm sorry for it. And if there is any communication which is wrongly understood, please pardon me. Like, communication can go wrong. See the small slide, and many times as a teachers, we are misunderstood by our students. Next, please. Next, please.
Sir.
Friends, as our today's chief guest directors have said, we have to continue wearing our masks, maintaining social distance. I don't call it a social distance, maintaining the physical distance. And that is what I say, we should do namaste, not shaking hands and coming closer. The best Indian way of greeting people is the healthiest way of greeting. So these are the two references I have used for my presentation: the textbook on clinical research authored by me and the ICMR guideline. So friends, these are few messages just I would like to share with you all. I have turned like the winds of change. Yes, how things are changing, and it has started changing, and we must be part of this change. Throughout the world, people celebrate Pharmacist Day, but in India, we used to have all Doctors Day, Nurses Day. We never used to have Pharmacist Day. Now we have 25th September. Officially, Government of India named this as Pharmacist Day. Our Professor Harkishan Singh, a pharmacy teacher, received Padma Shri. We salute him, though he is no more, but a great scientist who has been awarded Padma Shri. Pharmacists are not pharmacists. Hello, sir. Lot of sound is coming.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
The pharmacists are counted as human resources, as a health workforce in our national health policy. Prior to 2017 policy, pharmacist name was not there in national health policy. And many of the state government has started redesignating pharmacists as pharmacy officials with an upgradation in the pay structure. So, in my opinion, this is the beginning of good times for pharmacy. Friends, pharmacists deal with medicine, and medicines are different commodities. How they are different commodities? Any commodity we buy, we decide which brand is to be purchased because we pay. While medicines are such commodities, it is the patient who pays, but patient does not decide, and who decides is paid. Doctors and patients, pharmacies, they decide the medicine, what we have to take, and they don't pay, but we pay. And for their decision, they are paid. And remember, these are the 5 C's that decides what will be prescribed to us, what will be given to us. This is called the 5 C's of medicine marketing. Perhaps some of you are aware of these and what is happening in the medicine marketing. A very, very tough competition to market the products, and we find these are the few techniques the marketing professionals use. First, they try to convince the prescriber. When they are not able to convince the prescriber, they try to confuse him. Then they coax, then they corrupt, and finally the medical detailman or medical representative cries, "Sir, madam, kindly prescribe my medicine, my brand. If you don't prescribe, I am going to lose my job." Next, please. Hello. Hello. Sir, next, please.
Sir. Already done, sir. Next.
Next, sir.
Answer already done, sir. Only reference
Done,
is there, sir.
No, sir. This is reference. After reference, I have few.
Okay.
After reference, please go on.
Yes,
These
sir.
are some. Please go to this. Next, sir.
Next is yes.
This winds of change I have just spoken.
Yes. Sir.
Next.
Okay.
Next. Next. Yes. Sometimes, friends, it is not that always medicine is required for the patient. Sometimes the best medicine a doctor can prescribe is no medicine at all, because we have many pathies. We have homeopathy, we have hydropathy, we have naturopathy, we have allopathy. Like that, many pathies we have, but patient does not need all these pathies, and patient needs your sympathy. Next, please. So encourage people to know about medicine, sir. More we know, better the medicine work. So you encourage your students, you yourself talk about medicine in the family, talk about medicine in the community. Let people get understand about the medicine. More they understand, better it works for them. Next, please.
Sir.
So, what is the way forward? Educate the common man. Educate the common man. Don't underestimate the power of a common man. Yes, you are all teachers, you are all scientists, you work high level, but we do also have some responsibility to the community. When we develop medicine, we develop new medicines for new indication, for new disease condition, but the medicine should also be properly used. And that comes only when we educate the common man. So I quote, don't underestimate the power of a common man, and let us do our best to make a better tomorrow. Next, please, sir. I hope you will be able to read.
Yes.
Are you able to see the Odisha?
Yes, sir. Odisha is there.
Yes. So this is called generic medicine promotion. So we try to do this throughout the country, and we develop this message in all the languages of India, so that we can educate the common man. So thank you once again for giving me this opportunity and share my thoughts with you all.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for enlightening our minds with the various aspects of clinical trials. You are a true professional inspiration for all of us, sir. We are extremely privileged to hear from you, sir. Now it's time to present, sir, the token of appreciation from RIPS. So I request our beloved principal, sir, to kindly present the certificate of appreciation and thanks to Professor and Dr. Guru Prasad Mahanta, sir.
Sir, thank you very much for delivering a talk which is very interested and useful, and for the current scenario, it is a much important topic. And I once again thank you for sparing your valuable time and delivering this talk, which is useful for all of us. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. My honor.
Thank you, sir.
My honor.
It's
So
over to you,
thank you
Ms. Mona.
everyone, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you one and all. And I hope this session was beneficial to the participants as well. And here we officially end the series one first session, and tomorrow we'll begin the second second day's first session at sharp 11 a.m. as per the scheduled time. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, sir.